Hola, Ohio, hello, bonjour. I am Shribi, and today we're gonna be showcasing LR Extreme Fizz Golden Freddy. First of all, I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to all the people that supported me through DMs, replies, posts. It really is appreciated, and I couldn't have done it without your support. And I also want to announce the Discord server that I am currently hosting is public, and you can freely enjoy and talk with members or even me directly. So please make sure to join down in the description below or the first pinned comments. There's also going to be much earlier news in the Discord server rather than on the YouTube posts. So if you want to get the most recent updates about maybe future units or changes or anything related to my content, please make sure to join. Anyway, let's move on to the character.
The others are under my protection. The others are like animals. But I am very aware. I recognize you. But I'm not afraid of you. Not anymore.
The one you should not have killed, LR Extreme Fizz Golden Freddy. First of all, let's talk about his leader skill. His leader skill is gonna be in the format of a carnival unit. He's gonna be leading 3 categories: Revenge, Artificial Life Forms, and Corded Body and Mind category allies, Ki +4, HP attack and defense plus 220%. Moving on to the super attacks. 20 Ki attack. Phantom Hit Breaker. Greatly raises defense and attack and causes colossal damage to enemy and greatly lowers attack and defense, stun the attacked enemy, and all allies attack minus 10% for 5 turns. 18 key super. Vengeful Eclipse. Massively raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn and causes reality-shattering damage to enemy and massively lowers attack and defense. Disabling enemy's action once within the turn is also included. Now we're gonna move on to the categories. Starting with Resurrected Warriors, Revenge, Crossover, Correlated Body and Mind, Earthling, Uncontrollable Power, Exploding Rage, Artificial Life Forms, Youth, Powerful Comeback, Storied Figures, Fused Fighters, Demonic Power, Gifted Warriors, Power of Wishes, Legendary Existence, Inhuman Deeds, Time Limit, Giant Form. Link Skills: Nightmare, Fear and Faith, Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis, Brutal Beatdown, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. And now, for the beefy part, we're moving on to the passive skill. Activate the entrance animation when there are 5 or more extreme class allies or when there are 3 or more youth category allies on the team, or when there is an int type enemy at the start of battle. For once only, chance to perform critical hits, 87% for 3 turns, creates the domain Midnight Shift for 5 turns, and forever, attack and defense gonna be increased by 50%. Basic effects: attack and defense plus 310%, damage reduction plus 40%, interrupts the enemy once per turn, nullify all negative effects, all allies' damage reduction will be decreased by 5%, self-excluded, and randomly changes key sphere of a certain type, Fizz excluded, to Fizz key spheres. For every int or SCR key spheres obtained, plus 3 key, plus 90% attack for 3 turns, plus an additional 50% attack for 1 turn when obtaining a int key sphere. All allies' defense minus 10% for 1 turn, a self-excluded, plus an additional reduction by 50% when obtaining an int key sphere, self-excluded. Chance to perform a critical hit plus 50%, that's gonna go up to 100% for 4 turns. Key plus 2 when obtaining a int key sphere. For every AGL or tech key spheres obtained, plus 2 key, defense plus 90% for 3 turns, all allies attack minus 10% for 1 turn, self-excluded. Damage reduction 4% for 1 turn. For every Fizz key sphere obtained, attack and defense plus 40% for 3 turns, all allies attack minus 50% for 1 turn, self-excluded, and also minus 5% defense for 1 turn, self-excluded, and also plus 2 key. When the domain Midnight Shift is active, attack and defense plus 55%, damage reduction rate plus 90%, and all attacks are guaranteed to hit. When key is 18 or more, attack plus 200% when attacking, chance to perform a critical hit plus 25%. When key is 24, damage reduction rate plus 37% when receiving an attack once only, and plus 320% attack when attacking, and also a increasing chance of performing a critical hit by 25%. When HP is 83% or less, once only, attack plus 200% for 7 turns, attack and defense plus 87% that stays forever, and chance to perform a critical hit is guaranteed for 1 turn. When the target enemy is in the following status: HP is 50% or less, or the enemy is under the debuff effect, stun effect, or even the seal effect, these are gonna get active. All enemies attack and defense minus 90%, key plus 5, attack plus 87%. If the character or an ally receives a KO attack, for once only, revives with 83% HP. After the character or an ally revival skill is activated, damage reduction rates plus 10%, attack and defense plus 250%, attack minus 20% to all allies self-excluded, that's all stay forever. Upon the character's next attack in turn, after the character's revival skill is activated, for once only, stuns all allies for 1 turn, redirects all attacks to self for 1 turn, guard all attacks for 1 turn, keep plus 24 for 1 turn, attack plus 50% for every attack received for also 1 turn. Moving on to the active skill. The active skill, Happiest Day, can be activated starting from the 6th turn from the start of battle or upon having 5 or more revenge, youth, or artificial life form category allies, or when there is an int-type enemy on the battlefield. Active skill effects: set HP to 83%, attack and defense plus 20% for 1 turn, additional super attack for 1 turn, and creates the domain Midnight Shift for 2 turns. Domain effects: Midnight Shift. Turn AGL to Tech Key Spheres every turn the domain is active. Turns SCR Key Spheres to Int Key Spheres every turn the domain is active. All Int allies and enemies attack and defense minus 90%. Increase damage received by all enemies and allies by 90%, plus an additional 10% to extreme class Int allies and enemies. Now, before moving on to the gameplay footage, I just want to share my thoughts about this unit and the idea behind creating it. So, apart from the character itself, the main focus on the kit, as you can see, is that Golden Freddy is a selfish unit. He does not support the team by any way. If you go to the passive, you're not gonna find any clue of him directly buffing a certain category or a certain ally. The only instance where he is buffing allies is by his domain, where he makes the enemy much more vulnerable. Basically, the idea behind Golden Freddy is that he is a very liability unit. You gotta use him carefully, you gotta use him well, so that he does a lot of damage, but also doesn't hurt your team in the process. And by doing that, you can achieve some very incredible attack stats. And also you can also achieve some very embarrassing moments where you have, for example, SCR Rose dying to a super that he should have took 2 digits from. So I just wanted to clarify that this is the idea behind this unit that I had in my mind for a long time, and also the issue on trying to balance him, because you're trying to balance both his attack and also his debuffs. Basically, you gotta make the attacks very high so that you can counter it with debuffs to the allies. With that being said, Golden Freddy will be thriving the most in extreme dominated teams. Although, you gotta be careful on choosing the units that's gonna be included in. For example, I highly suggest not including int type characters. Golden Freddy is very aggressive and hostile to int type allies and enemies as well. So if you're by any chance making a team with Golden Freddy, especially double lead with Golden Freddy, don't include any int type ally. It doesn't matter if they're extreme or super or godly or whatever, they're gonna get debuffed aggressively by Golden Freddy. Anyway, now we're gonna move on to the gameplay footage with the battle motion and also the domain animation. that wraps up the video. LR Extreme Fizz Golden Freddy will be available to play for the public in the majority of private servers. If you want to know which private server hosts Golden Freddy, please join the Discord server below and go to the channel private servers so you can join the private servers and play Golden Freddy for free. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.